I want to start off tonight by really talking about Bruce Willis because today's news about Bruce really bummed me out. And I'm not saying that to be like hyperbolic or whatever. And it really did. I've been really upset when I learned about this news today that if you don't know, Bruce Willis is stepping away from acting following an aphasia diagnosis. It's not that he's necessarily stepping away from acting. He is retiring. This is not something you come back from, which we'll talk more about here in a second. This is a tough one because, the dude is 67 years old. He has been a staple in action movie cinema, for, well over 30 years. He is a beloved actor, even though he has chosen some very subpar roles, I believe, since 2013. And it's still sad. So Demi Moore put out a post today. And this was also copied, I think, by like Rumor Willis and other people as well. But she says here, to Bruce's amazing supporters, as a family, we wanted to share that our beloved Bruce has been experiencing some health issues and has recently been diagnosed with aphasia, which is impacting his cognitive abilities. As a result of this, and with much consideration, Bruce is stepping away from the career that has meant so much to him. This is a really challenging time for our family, and we are so appreciative of your continued love, compassion, and support. We are moving through this as a strong family unit. We wanted to bring his fans in because we know how much he means to you, as you do to him. As Bruce always says, live it up. And together we plan to do just that. Love, Emma, Demi, Rumor, Scout, Tallulah, Mabel, and Evelyn. And I didn't know what aphasia was at first. I knew that it was a cognitive thing. And, it's like, oh, he's retiring. Yeah, this is, he'll get help. He's got money. He'll get treatment. This is what aphasia is. It's a condition that robs you of the ability to communicate. It can affect your ability to speak, write, and understand language, both verbal and written. Aphasia typically occurs suddenly after a stroke or a head injury, but it can also come on gradually from a slow-growing brain tumor or a disease that causes progressive, permanent damage. The severity of aphasia depends on a number of conditions, including the cause and extent of the brain damage. Once the cause has been addressed, the main treatment for aphasia is speech and language therapy. The person with aphasia learns and practices language skills and learns to use other ways to communicate. Family members often participate in the process, helping the person communicate. It is not curable. It is treatable, hopefully livable, but it's not curable. So I don't know at the end of the day what's going to happen with Bruce. I know I talk. That's my thing, right? That's my gift, the gift of gab, and I fear of like Alzheimer's or dementia or something like this. I fear that I'll fall and I'll hit my head and it will cause a problem. I'll lose my ability to talk and my ability to communicate, which is how I express myself. It's how I make a living. I understand that. I'm not trying to like bring the stream down. This is something that like has been on my mind all goddamn day. I've been a big Bruce Willis fan, even before Die Hard, man, when I saw like Blind Date and I saw Moonlighting, I was a fan of Bruce Willis. And of course, Look Who's Talking and everything else that came out in the 90s and 2000s. The Fifth Element, I think, is still one of his best films. He hasn't headlined a movie, like a big blockbuster film, really like on his own since 2013's or 2012's, I think, Live Free or Die Hard. No, that was A Good Day to Die Hard, which is the utter worst of the franchise. And then he did Glass a few years ago, which was good to see him reunite with Sam Jackson and M. Night Shyamalan and stuff. The sad thing is that, eventually, like, these things happen sometimes, and there's nothing we're able to do outside of send our support. and extend our love. And of course, this has got a lot of people talking about the sheer amount of straight to DVD films he did. Because he did a bunch of straight to DVD films for a while. There was a new one, I think it's like Shadow War or something like that. I just saw it at Redbox, or I don't know, maybe it was at Walmart. It just came out. There's one he just did with Megan Fox where they're like FBI agents, and it's like it's so weird to look at like Bruce Willis and go, God damn, man, you were headlining movies less than a decade ago. And you have so many good movies to your name, and then you all of a sudden like find yourself doing these, schlocky films. And it's not like Nick Cage, where Nick Cage embraced the weird, and that helped rebuild his career, helped rebuild his image. Bruce Willis just kind of like, I don't want to say phoned it in. I don't think he phoned it in, but he took roles that were like not really risky and didn't have fun with it. I feel like there are some movies where he did, like Lucky Number 11. I thought he did really good in Lucky Number 11. I love that one quite a bit. There's one I saw back around that same time called Assassination of a High School President, where he played the high school principal. And there's a line where he's talking to kind of like the local, like the more promiscuous student. And she makes a comment to him, and he goes like, what, do I come down to the strip club and knock the dick out of your mouth? Like, or whatever, like the strip club where you work and knock the dick out of your mouth. And just the way he says it was totally a Bruce Willis-ism, but it was still funny, So maybe we'll get lucky and he'll be able to treat this and be able to do something like Over the Hedge or Look Who's Talking, where he can provide a voice role. Maybe in one of the upcoming Beavis and Butthead episodes, he'll be able to reprise his role as Dallas. I don't know. I am, look, I think, he's got his own, H Bart's here. This is true. This gives you a kind of an idea that, Bruce Willis had his own Razzie section this year. He did. He competed against himself. He competed against himself. And, there's that. Hold on here. Skywalker Brian says, wait, Pulp Fiction made his career big. I mean, look, man, no. You're thinking of John Travolta. Travolta is the one that came out of Pulp Fiction and whose career was resuscitated. There was never, Bruce Willis was in the movie, and he was great in the movie, but it was John Travolta who's the one that really walked away a winner overall. There was nothing wrong with Willis's career back in 1994. So, but anyway, boy, I completely agree with you here. Well wishes to him and his family. Completely agree. I absolutely agree. Anthony here says, hopefully he doesn't have money issues because he was doing a lot of movies these last 5 years. I looked at his filmography and he hasn't done less than 4 movies a year in a decade. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened to Bruce Willis, man. I really, I don't know. Let's see. Doesn't Bruce do like $5 million movies now? I mean, look, the thing is, he does. And he comes on in and he does maybe a day or two on set, on location, whatever. They pay him however many thousands he wants and he goes home. Laser Luke here says, so is he really retiring? I mean, for right now he is. He's going to start losing cognitive function. He's going to stop being able to talk and having trouble communicating. And he's got to relearn how to talk, relearn how to communicate. And that's going to be the next step. So all we can do as fans is just wish him well, wish him a bunch of love, and hope for the best.